responsibilities.
I miss being a kid.
Growing up is actually a scam. Like, no one explains how things just slowly get worse. Bedtime used to be a punishment, but now it's the only thing keeping you alive. Christmas used to feel magical, and now it's just any other day. And school, that went from 2 plus 2 to whatever this is. Like, what? And the weird part is, it doesn't just happen all at once. It happens slowly. Until one day you realize, yeah, this is not what I signed up for. At first, it's small things, like bedtime. Bedtime used to be a full-on battle. The second someone said, go to bed, you suddenly had more energy than you had in your entire life. Like, you're not tired anymore, you need water, you need to say something, you heard a noise, you forgot something, like there was a full-on to-do list. Anything to drag it out as long as possible because you did not want to go to bed. But now, bedtime is the best part of all of our days. It's now the goal. And you don't even have to wait anymore. You can just be like, oh, it's getting kind of late. Bedtime! Yeah! But even when you went to bed, that didn't mean you were actually done with the day. No. Because staying up late, that used to feel illegal as a kid. Like, you look at the clock and you're like, whoa, it's 10 p.m. And you automatically felt like a rebel. You felt like a rule breaker. But that's what made it fun. Especially if you were watching something with your parents and they didn't know it was your bedtime yet, but you knew. So of course you'd be sitting down on the couch, watching TV, and they're just over there, not even knowing it's past your bedtime. So what do? You hold your breath and you don't move a muscle because they cannot realize that it is past your bedtime. Because if they do, you'll be sent off to bed and you'll be a loser. Now though, staying up late just happens. You'll be on your phone at like 10 p.m. in bed, and the next thing you know, you blink, and it's 3 a.m. Like, where does the time go? I don't know. And honestly, you know that you should be asleep, but the scrolling's just, it's too good. Why are you awake? And this next one actually makes no sense at all. Because how and why did we just have more energy as kids? Because coming home from school as a kid, it wasn't even tiring. Like, you would walk in the front door full of energy still because school was just like part of your day, okay? That was just a little tiny fraction. Because you'd get home, drop your bag, and immediately run outside and play with friends. Because again, you had all the energy in the world and school just didn't drain that from you. Now though, you walk in that front door after school, you place your bag down, and you just collapse on the floor and cry because you are exhausted. And it's not even like you did less than before as a kid because you kind of do the same thing, but for some reason now you have absolutely no energy ever. Like, honestly, I'm just gonna blame it on school because school progressively gets worse as you age. It's just a fact. Anyway, it's not just energy that changes as you age. It's also time. Weekends, for example, used to feel so long as a kid. Like, so long. Like, you would somehow fly to France, then you would fly to the Bahamas, then you would go to, like, Mars, and you would somehow still return with 1 day of the weekend left. How? Now, though, you wake up, do literally one thing, and whoa, it is 6 p.m. on a Sunday night. Make it make sense, because it literally doesn't. I don't understand. How is it that I blink? Oh, it's been 4 days. What? And summer, that used to feel like an entire lifetime. Like, I swear you went from a baby to a grandma in that time period. That's what it felt like, at least. Like, you had so much time to do whatever you wanted. You'd wake up, do something random, go outside, come back in, and it was still only like 1 p.m. The day just wouldn't end. However, now, you wait all year for summer, it finally gets here, you blink, and we're right back to September. Like, I swear, it just started, okay? You did literally one thing. You did one thing. You just went outside for 2 seconds. You come back in, and again, it's been 10 months. It's been a year. It's been... I don't get it. I really don't get it. And now that summer's over because we somehow teleported to September, let's talk about school. Because as a kid, school was easy. You just showed up, did your work, hung out with some friends, went to recess. There was no overthinking, no stress. It was honestly paradise. It was freeing. It was just fun. That's so easy. Now though, you read a question and it is literally gibberish. It is a riddle that is meant to be deciphered. Nothing makes sense. And the teacher, she's up there showing the class some crazy equation that is just... I don't know what it is, okay? I swear it's hieroglyphics, okay? I have to... Do you want... And the worst part is, school doesn't even stop when you leave the building. No, of course not, right? Because when you get home, there is homework. Now, you just walk in the front doors, and I'm not even kidding, there's a pile of homework that you have to complete. Why? We just spent 7 hours at school, and then now we're expected to go home to a mountain pile of homework. Speechless. I am quite literally speechless. Because as a kid, you would come home, and if there was any homework, it would just be like maybe one, not even a page of homework. It would be like max 10 minutes, and then you'd have the entire night to be free. Or, better yet, there was no homework, depending on, I don't know, your teacher. Seriously, just as a kid, it was much better as a kid. And studying as a kid, there was basically no studying, okay? Because you would pull up to the test, feeling confident, even though you did not even reread any of your notes or anything. And you would still somehow pull out an A+. How are you doing this? Are you Albert Einstein? I think you are. And now, even if you study, you somehow fail. I don't know how, because I will literally spend hours studying. I will be crying, tears rolling down my face because I am just so tired from studying, okay? I spent the entire night studying, the entire days before the test studying. I pull up, and I still get an F. Why? And the biggest betrayal of them all, the last week of school. Because as a kid, that last week was just pure bliss, okay? It was amazing. There was movies, random activities, pizza parties, like, dude, it was amazing. Like, you would just walk in and the teacher would be like, we're not doing anything today. And everyone just cheers because, hey, this is literally the best week of our lives. Like, we're being rewarded for just having gone through the entire school year. Like, hello, yeah, we deserve this. We deserve to be rewarded. We just spent the entire year in a prison, technically. So, hey, yes, bring on the pizza party. Now, though, that same week, it's exams! Exams! We are being rewarded with exams. Yep. Like, everyone's already so exhausted from the entire year and tests that we've already had to do before. And now we're on this last week where we should be rewarded with pizza parties like we did when we were kids, but now we are rewarded again with exams. More studying and stress! Yay! Anyway, now let's move on to the social situations. For example, making friends. Because as a kid, making friends was just, it was effortless. Like, you'd literally just walk up to somebody and say, hi! And now, all of a sudden, you guys are besties. You are besties for life. Your guys' souls are like intertwined, okay? You're best friends forever. You're besties for life! There was never any overthinking, no stress. You didn't care how you were perceived. You were just being your true, authentic self, and people loved you for it. However, now, it's a little bit harder. Because if I were to go up to somebody and just be like, hi, wanna be friends? Oh boy, I am sure they would look at me like I am some complete weirdo, I guess. I don't know. They would shame me for it because unfortunately that is not how it works anymore. I wish it would though. Can we like normalize this again? Because it would be so amazing to just go up to somebody and be like, let's be friends. And now we're besties. I want that back. Please. And now seeing people, as a kid, that was amazing, okay? If you were to go to a grocery store or something and you saw someone that you knew, it was just, you'd be cheering. You'd be like, hey, Jessica! And it was never weird. Like, you guys would meet up, talk a little bit, catch up, just have a good time. But now, seeing somebody you know in public, woo! I'm running away, I am hiding. It is way too embarrassing. I don't know what changed, but now, if I see anybody that I know in public, obviously if it's like my best friend, then that's different. But if I'm seeing somebody that I know that I'm not entirely familiar with, dude, I'm hiding behind a bush. And it's not even just random interactions that feel different now either. No. Even hanging out feels different now. Because as a kid, hanging out, you actually used to do things, okay? You would go outside run around, go biking, play video games, I don't know. You guys would actually do something together. And it was fun. Like, I think hanging out's all about actually doing something with your friend, right? I guess that has since changed because now I feel like we're all just on our phones hanging out. Just doom scrolling. That is our definition of a hangout now, I guess. I low-key miss the old times. And it's not just what we do that has changed. It's how everything kind of feels now too. Because Christmas, that used to feel so magical. It was literally the best time of the year. It felt so special and amazing. The build-up alone was just insane, okay? Because you'd be asleep on Christmas Eve and your stomach would there's butterflies everywhere. You are so excited. You cannot sleep for the life of you. You just can't. So you're just laying there, staring at the ceiling, just picturing all of your gifts that you're gonna be getting tomorrow. Now though, Christmas just kind of happens. Don't get me wrong, it's still a fun day, but it's nowhere near the same level of excitement as before. Like half the time it doesn't even feel like Christmas. You're like, whoa, it's December 22nd? Christmas is in like 3 days? What? Doesn't even feel like it. Because unfortunately that feeling just really isn't there anymore. And it low-key really sucks. Christmas is the most obvious example of this feeling, but honestly, it's everything now. Because honestly, nothing feels the same anymore. As a kid, life just felt exciting, fun, and it just felt so good. But now it's just kind of like, what am I doing right now? And honestly, let's be real for a second. I think the reason for this is because now we have a lot of responsibilities, and as a kid, there wasn't that much. Like, for example, as a kid, you'd be done school and have basically nothing to do. School was your sole responsibility. That was kind of it. Like, once that was done, you can just do whatever you wanted. It was your free time. You could just live your life freely. Now, there's always something. There's something to do, there's chores, part-time jobs. There's just always something to do. So your day essentially looks like this. Wake up at the crack of dawn, go to school for literally 10 million hours. In school, you do tests, assignments, projects, so many different things. Then you get home and have piles of homework for every single class because teachers apparently do not understand that we have multiple classes, not just theirs. Then you might have a part-time job, you might have a sport to do, an after-school activity, like you were just go. You have so much to do and it's almost unbearable. And even when you take a little break, you kind of feel bad about it. You feel like you should be doing something anyway because technically there always is something to do. So that little voice in your head is just like,
what are you doing? Get up! You don't deserve a break!
And don't even get me started on prices. Because as a kid, I swear you would have $5 and you were able to buy literally everything.
I'm rich.
You'd go somewhere and you can buy drinks, chips, candy, literally the entire store with just your $5. Like the price didn't even matter because you knew that that would get you far. However, in this day and age, right now, that $5 literally gets you nothing. Can I get this?
You can get one.
What? And that's when it really hits you. Whoa. This is what growing up is like. It sucks. And weirdly enough, you wanted this as a kid. All you ever wanted was to grow up, okay? Because I remember being like 5 and I was like, I cannot wait until I'm grown. I was so excited for it. If anything, now I wanna go back. Like, you honestly just couldn't wait to grow up. You thought that everything would just be better. More freedom, more fun, less rules. The prestige of growing up was just so... It's all you ever wanted as a kid. You just thought you would just be able to do whatever you wanted. That's what you thought growing up was like. However, now that you are grown up, you realize that this is far from the truth. Now you do technically have more freedom, but there's always something attached to it. Honestly, it's just really not as fun as you thought because that little kid brain of yours when you were younger, it really romanticized growing up. And now you realize, dang, being a kid, that was actually the good part. Now, low-key kinda sucks. Anyway, don't get me wrong, growing up isn't inherently bad, okay? I like being older, okay? This entire video is not trying to be like, growing up sucks, growing up is scary, okay? Because if you're still a kid, don't be scared. Growing up, it's not bad. It's pretty fun. But there are some vast contrasts here between being a kid and being older. There are differences, but again, it's not inherently bad. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button because why not? Bye!